Reality and Chill with Kenny.
And Nishi, how's it going, Kenny?
Yeah, it's going great. Actually, good week. How's your week?
Yeah, actually, you know what? So far, so good. We're halfway through the week. We don't normally record an episode halfway through the week, do we?
We're a little bit late on this one. And I think I was just flagging energy as well on the weekend, but I feel like New York, like this next gen, it deserves high energy. You need to be in like your best, you need to be your best person to be able to talk about this because it is the most fun. Like, I just, one of the first things I kind of was thinking about is, how you had the offshoot from, Beverly Hills and then the offshoot of Vanderpump Rules, and it
Yeah.
takes like a season or two. I feel like this concept, this offshoot of Next Gen, these kids, it is going to be without a doubt a complete hit. I absolutely love it. So
Absolutely. Like for them to give so much it's in season one, like
it's
yeah,
really
it's
impressive. Yeah.
it's
And
this is the foundation, right? And it only gets better from here. They're still getting their groove.
because I was trying to work out, well, why is it so good, And
Mhm.
I just think with the housewives' kids, because then I thought about it. It's like, is it because they just know how to deal with reality TV more? They've grown up with it, because you've got like them as the nepo babies, really, right? Because that's next generation of housewives kid with all the kind of wealthy kids, right? So you've got this different dynamic, but I think it's because they've actually grown more because of some of the negative backlash of being a housewife. Like they've already had to navigate some really difficult scenarios in life where people maybe have bullied them or have called out or they've seen their mums go through it. And
Mhm.
because of that, they've actually like they haven't been so sheltered in life, and because of that they're quite resilient and they end up really navigating and working through problems and not taking things too personally and sticking up for themselves. So you saw it with Adriana this episode so well. She was amazing.
Yeah, they have thick skin. Hey,
Yeah.
it definitely shows. They've been through a bit, and you can tell that Brooks hasn't been doing housewives since he was little because he's still scared.
Yeah, that's so true. It really is. What Brooks has is a pretty cool family. Like, just,
Oh,
as annoying as Seth is and as awkward as he is when he's talking to these kids, like, you can see just the family, is, Zoe, Brooks, Seth, and Meredith. They're a powerhouse collectively. They're super fun. They hang out a lot. It's actually quite wonderful.
you make me laugh because you always get the names close, but just a little bit off. This is what our viewers have to realize. Kendall will always do this, okay? It doesn't mean she's not a super fan. She knows, we know who she's talking about. It's
Who have I
Zoe,
got
not
wrong? Is it Seth, Meredith,
it's
Chloe,
Zoe, not Zoe. And then you said Adriana. I think it's Ariana. It's fine.
Ariana? Right.
I
Okay.
don't
Yeah. No, this is true. It's like a dyslexia thing. I'm sure that's never been
stop.
diagnosed. That's my theory.
I just think it's sweet. So, anyways, our viewers need to know that that's just something you will do.
Oh, look, continuously. I wonder if it's annoying, but yeah, it's not something that will probably stop.
Yeah, exactly. I think you just call it out. It's funny. Yeah, cool. All right, let's get into it. So at the start, what did they have? They had it was the caviar party or the like intro into the caviar party,
The
was it?
start was just finishing off that argument, that kind of clash,
Yeah. Okay.
wasn't it, with Ariana and Ava, and then like Ava kind of acting like I just don't know what the big deal of it is, which sort of then carried on through. So it's just sort of closing out that scene.
Yeah.
Um, Let me check actually, and then I think from there it was it Georgia.
Planning for
It
the
was
party.
kind of the Georgia and Meredith sort of talking about this party planning, right?
Yes. Yeah. I can't actually remember the very first scene when where they talk about Ava. Where Ava closes the conversation down, or does she? They tap into it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I put it here that I feel like maybe they just replayed the last part from the last one where Gia was sort of butting in. But yeah, I feel like it was like how sometimes, even though it's not the official recap, it's just like
Yeah.
how it begins. It may have been like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. When she rocked up into to the caviar party, you could tell she was like she doesn't like confrontation that much. I don't know what it is, but she wasn't really like facing into it. I don't know why. I feel like she's empowering.
I truly believe this is unconscious bias on Ava's part because
Mm,
she doesn't realize that this is an area where she's got privilege, right? So she comes from
right.
this New York, her mum's like what I mean, she herself
Well,
is a model. Her mum is, I
yeah.
think, like a stylist.
Yeah. A fashion
Um,
designer
and
model.
yeah, exactly. And so she's just made this decision in her head without knowing anything more about Ariana, that it was okay for her to just dismiss her and her work, and then can't see how that could be offensive.
That's the
How
problem.
that it's like a microaggression in a different kind of way, if you know what I mean, because it's
Right.
about you know, yeah, a different style of unconscious bias. That's what I think it is.
Yeah. And I think the problem is that she can't acknowledge that it is offensive. Because if she could just be like, you know what, didn't realize that was offensive. Sorry, I offended you. We could move forward. They could move forward a lot quicker. But instead, she kind of doubles down a little bit and goes, I don't understand what the big deal is.
Yeah,
And that's
and she
where,
does it in this really, like, in a way that's almost, even though her body language when she's doing
yeah,
it, it's really kind of, droopy eyes, and there's something about that snobbiness that really, you're just like, wow, you've got a real cool girl issue
yeah,
with yourself.
I totally see that.
And it's
Absolutely.
not going to bear well with this crowd of housewife kids, because they're not going to follow those kind of rules. That, okay, that may have been pedigree in New York, right, that you're a pedigree here in
Yeah.
this certain construct, but you're on reality TV now, dear, and like these girls.
Right. Yeah, no, I hear you. I think, no, I think you're absolutely right. They'll call it out. They won't let it go.
Mm,
Yeah, they'll make her take accountability. But even Amira, like you can tell, I really loved when Amira sort of spoke up straight away around that. So this is a group that calls things out, and I love that. And I think she's going to learn, and it'll open up her eyes. Like even just doing this reality TV show, will when she watches back, I think she will hopefully she'll be able to reflect and just see that, yeah, you know what, that maybe is offensive or shouldn't
yeah,
be for whatever reason.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I think there'll be no other choice. So, like, you either carry on doubling down, or there's a
Mm.
point where you start to do some self reflection. So, there's just two paths, right? Like, that's
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. I think I found it interesting that she was so late to the caviar party. I don't know what for what reason she was, but I mean, not everyone wasn't thrilled about that, and I kind of
She's
was like,
too cool for school. This is
yeah,
the thing. Like,
um,
it's on her terms. She's like, she's Charlie's closest. It's this weird kind of, we didn't notice it for the first few episodes, but now it's very clear
yeah,
that, yeah. And maybe she was also avoiding seeing,
I think both.
Ariana again. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it's either she doesn't want to face into the conflict of it all, or she's a bit entitled and doesn't necessarily respect timings and stuff like that. Because they were actually really annoyed that she was down the road. Wasn't Georgia saying she's down the road for
On the
something
same
else?
street.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So, yeah, she's definitely showing a little bit of that sort of snobbery, elitist, a bit better than
Well,
you
she was
type.
talking to Charlie, though, to organise, like, where they're all going out afterwards, right? So then she was going to see Ariana there.
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of a bit of a dismal to Georgia, because it's like, well, it's her kind of show,
Her
like her
event.
party
Yeah.
with Meredith. I mean, I love that whole eviction notice thing. That was pretty hilarious and legit.
Oh my gosh, the
Oh my
day
God.
before. Kudos to Georgia. She works really hard and she's very good at her job. Like to turn that around within 24 hours and get a venue.
Yeah,
Impressive.
with her own style as well. But like, I feel like with the storyline arc, I feel like they are going to want her to get flustered, and like, I can see that seem legit, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're setting her up for a bit of a fall, just because you can see where they're trying to make it. It's kind of the same with Charlie. Like, they're trying to give us hints of where there's a fall coming. And I feel like that's with his father, with him trying to negotiate getting money from his father. It's like, oh, but I need silverware, Dad. I need this, I need that. And then, like, how they're playing, that something's going to come crushing down. And I just feel like, again, with Georgia, they're trying to, I really love her style, and I think it should be about delivery, right? What does she deliver? She delivered. So at the end of the day, how does it matter how she gets there? But I've just sort of noticed a couple of little ways that they're trying to show, either with a boyfriend, with a friend, with Meredith, with anything, where she's just like, that style of hers is meant to make us all think, oh, this, she's not taking a job seriously. But we both think she's taking it very seriously. She's just got her own style about it.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Mm,
I didn't see it like that, but yeah. No, I think
maybe.
she's yeah, she's cool. She's definitely different. She's quirky. She's good at her job. And yeah, she pulls through. Very impressive. Very
Yeah.
impressive. And the party was really cute too. But yeah.
I think I just want to mention, and I forget his name again, but Dylan's friend.
Shy.
I
Isn't it
love
shy?
him.
Same.
He's such a sweetie, but him exiting that party and just wanting to pay homage and respect to Meredith because it's her party. So he's like really the high ground. And again, with Seth just doing an incredible, awkward, and you could see he's like, and then eventually it's just like, hey, I just came to thank you for the caviar. You know what I mean? It's just, again, like, Seth does not realize how cringe he is. And
He doesn't.
he
Yeah.
doesn't do it consciously, but it's super cringe.
It's super cringe. Like I know the kids always say, "Oh, it's cringe," but he doesn't realize like it's actually like too much, in my opinion. Um,
Yeah, in my opinion too.
but yes, Shy. I made a note of that as well. I thought he's so just sweet and respectful,
Mm,
and just to actually, at that age, to have the common decency to just thank the host, especially in the New York vibe where it's all about parties. They're going to another party. People will just dip and smoke bombs surely all the time.
yeah.
Um, but the younger people, I don't know, they don't necessarily always do that and say thank you. But yeah, I just thought he was really sweet, and I really hope that he comes back next season, and hope he's not like a friend of, and I hope he's one of the main ones because he's really cool.
He's super cool. The way that he's using, curtains to create his own pants. He's helping,
He's
he's
so
helping Brooks to learn how to sew. It's super cute. Like, he's just a sweetie.
he's a very sweet kid, and yeah, I want to know more of his backstory. So yeah, I hope we see more of him next season.
Mm.
Um, yes, who else is there? And then you see Ariana and her venturing, and doing all of the fashion stuff. Man, it's going to be such a big feat. I think it's so cute because they're like these two little 22-year-olds or however old they are coming out in this big city trying to make it, and they got big dreams. And you
Oh,
see them.
exactly. And they're setting up their story arc to be the underdogs, right? But yeah, it's a very difficult industry. And like, Ava's not wrong in terms of sort of saying, hey, it's just the way she did it was a bit mean girls. But yeah, it's almost like, oh God, it's a big challenge to take that on, to be able to get a brand going.
Yeah. Um, but no, I think it's going to be really nice to see how it plays out. And then what else do we have? Speakergate. Do we talk about Speakergate just yet?
We haven't spoken about that yet. I think, I mean, you can see just with Charlie in general. So that this whole thing, what do you think about that? Like, it is annoying if you've lent something to a friend. I need to really understand what the commitment was when he lent it to her first. Like, was it, hey, look, I can get it back to you this weekend? Then the weekend comes about. And if it's the only speaker he's got in his house, at that age, you would listen to music a lot. So it would be frustrating. So I can see that as well.
I agree.
So,
That's my so this is I 100% agree with you. Like it sounded like when they flashed back to him lending the speaker, they were just in their lounge room. She needed a speaker, and he's like, "Yeah, no worries, you can use mine." And she goes, "Cool, let's charge it up, whatever." So it was obviously just like a casual thing, and don't think there was like, "Hey, I'll give it back to you this weekend." But
yeah.
he was being nice, and he does stay at home a lot, and he probably uses speakers a lot. And I just feel like it was a bit of a respect thing where she should have just organized for it to go back. Like he literally asked her so many times, and that's disrespecting him and his stuff. Like he did something nice to give it to her, and he asked politely numerous times. She said she was going to give it back. He even said, "Look, I'll organize an Uber. Just chuck it down in the Uber and bring it back. Like, I really need my speaker for whatever reason. And I don't think, uh, what's her name, Georgia, prioritized it because she's like, oh, what does he need his speakers for? He's just using it in his lounge room. He doesn't really have a job. It's not like he needed it for work or something. He's just chilling and wants to listen to music. That was my take on Georgia's side of it. I think that she should have organized to give it back. And then it triggered him. He had to ask so many times. And yeah, the way he responded at that lunch was uncalled for. Like, the way he talked to her was rude, and that stuff is sort of is not okay. But I felt like Georgia really provoked him and pushed him really into this corner, and then that was the way she dealt with it was not okay. That's my opinion.
I agree completely because there's this kind of collective now where everybody's sort of taking Charlie down a little bit, right? So this is a perfect time if you want to add on, and I feel like that's exactly what she was doing. She was piling on to Charlie when, like, even he said it in a derogatory way, but like, she was staying at my place all the time eating my scraps, which was like a mean way to say it. But obviously they've been friends for a long period of time, and it's not whether or not he wanted the speaker, or even if you could or could not get it, it's the disrespect that was unnecessary. And I just think she wouldn't have done it if nobody else was talking bad about him. I think it
Right.
would have been a different way she would have behaved.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, probably you're right. And it's just, yeah, it was a bit of a pile on Charlie. And yeah, I mean, that just could have been nipped in the bud. Just, I don't understand why she kept putting it off. She just, I don't know, either didn't want to deal with it, or the speaker was in a place that she couldn't be bothered getting for whatever
It was
reason.
disrespecting him, and she was doing it in a passive aggressive way rather than actually telling whatever the issue is she has with him, which may be some other issue, right? But
Yeah,
she used that as a tool. And
as well.
yeah, I saw through it too.
Also, what I didn't like was, so you know how Charlie's potentially doing, was it a vegan chicken shop or something with Ava's dad? That
Slutty
shop.
vegan.
Oh yeah, that whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That.
What a
Um,
weird name. That's such a dumb name. Anyway.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I thought like him going into that business, yeah, cool. You know, good for him, right? He's potentially going to do something. Um, I didn't like at the lunch where straight away Georgia sort of put him down for that. Like, that's what triggered him to react and just lose his cool. And I'm like, hold on a minute. This guy, for once, is actually trying to do something, you know, for work, or, you know, to better himself, to focus on something. And then straight away she shuts him down and she made some sort of comment like, oh, why would you do that? Or really, you're going to do that? And then he reacted. And I thought that was a bit unfair. It's like, everyone constantly telling him, oh, you know, you're a trust fund baby, you don't work, whatever, you're getting money from left, right, and center. But the one time he actually tries to do something, or is potentially going to do something, it's like you're not going to support him. I didn't like that.
Yeah, I think we saw a little bit of Mean Girl Georgia come out, but she's so cool and funny that you don't get it on the first pass, if it makes sense. It's kind of on reflecting, and then you're like, actually, that was a bit mean. But it's
Mm.
one of those kind of things that in the moment you're not really seeing the play at hand.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean? Like it's very subtly done.
Yeah, little sort of nudge on the side. And that didn't sit well with him. And that's when he lost it. And then he goes, hold on a minute. What he said was really mean. Like, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. And da da da. And just got really nasty really quickly.
Well, it's probably true if he's the one that put her forward for the
Yeah.
show and stuff, and then he's probably feeling like, what? So you've been staying at my house all the time. I've been feeding you. You've been helping yourself to the fridge, whatever. Like, while you've been down and out at different times, I then get you this position on the show, and the first chance you get, you're throwing me under the bus.
Not cool.
Yeah. But like I say, I felt like from that very first kind of opening thing, there was something between those two.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little bit messier than it's currently on this season. This will come out in seasons to come. But
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. That's what I was about to say. Like, I reckon she had a crush on him for whatever reason, like you mentioned, you called it, and that sort of opened up my eyes. And I think he didn't reciprocate. So, yeah, there's some sort of underlying whatever's happened there with
no,
everything.
I think he slept with her. I think what's happened is that
Yeah,
one
probably.
big night, think about it, drinking, all that
Yeah, all of
nonsense,
that. Yeah, true.
right? And it's like, oh, we're just casual, whatever. Now she's got a boyfriend. He's never going to mention that. He hasn't gone that far. but it wouldn't surprise me if that's what was going on.
Yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense actually.
Yeah. Well, who knows? I love that we just throw it out there. So not only do I not get names wrong, but I'm just throwing theories out there, like as if I'm really sure, but I'm not really sure. That's just my gut feel.
No, but it makes sense. It really does.
Mm,
Like, I mean, I'd be shocked if that wasn't the case. Now that you say that.
yeah. Yeah, let me just check my notes about this. But I'm really enjoying this because they're so. Oh, Candy. See, Candy, like having Candy in the shows is the first appearance, like where we see her in person stuff rather than being on the phone. And I just love seeing that family unit again. So
Oh,
that was so cool. Candy and her hubby look so happy. I love their little boy now. And, so, we've watched those two meet, get together, her fall pregnant, have a son, and now he was what, like five,
yeah.
six, maybe there. It was so cool to see that next generation again. And I was thinking who was missing from this is how he also had a daughter, and there's a point in time where it was like, right, I would love her to be involved in this next gen as well, because she was kind of a little bit off the rails kids, right? But it would be really interesting to see her do a spot appearance as well. I instantly felt it when they were all there. I was like, oh, it'd be so cool to see her again, because it was so interesting how Candy navigated being the stepmom, and then
Mm,
for him as well to navigate being the stepdad, and for us to see that play out. Really interesting. And they both did a generally good job it wasn't easy for either of them. Like
yeah.
both those girls were going through teenage years and were like real brats. It was in different ways.
And your blended family, also Candy's mum, remember, was never supportive of Tom. I forget her name, but she was rough. She was picky. Like,
Yeah, I
especially
mean,
that.
so Todd, and so it was like literally the grandmother and Riley just at Todd all the time. If you remember back and how he managed to just keep his cool again, like it's impressive. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, good pickup. I forgot about the other daughter because she was going to go to New York as well. I wonder whether she ended up going to New York.
She did. The last time we saw Candy was she had headed off to New York, right? And so it was the whole concept that Todd and Candy were having some conflict in their relationship because one stepdaughter was getting a nicer apartment. Like they didn't have
Right. Yeah.
the same funding, and it's obviously really awkward. I mean, so Candy really wants to give Riley a different lifestyle. That's what she's used to, whereas I think for Todd, his daughter had flown off the radar. He wanted a more you need to earn it
Yeah.
approach. And it's
Approach.
because they'd had different upbringing. So it made sense to actually have a different approach with each kids. But I mean, how complicated is that landscape? And for
That's
them to navigate that, and this is why I was like, oh God, I'd love to see Todd's daughter come in right now.
interesting. Maybe we'll see her. Good
I
point.
hope so. I really hope so. Yeah.
That could be a really nice side addition.
But
All
this
right.
is why I love this show so much is these parents coming in or having scenes, and I mean it's amazing. So like I say, it's like you sort of get to see, you know, like we say for a lot of these cast members, people, humans, it's 10 years later and just knowing them, and we may not have seen them on our TVs for, I mean, when was the last time that Candy was, I think it's like 3 seasons in now that she hasn't been on, and yet she was an original cast member for, so it's a long time. So obviously when we see her again, it's so exciting to see her. Same with Kim,
I
you
know. I'm
know.
so excited to see Kim. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I know, and you know what? There's so much potential with this. Like you see,
Oh,
seeing the mums, seeing the siblings as well. Like I love seeing Brooks's sister Chloe. I would love to see some of Gia's sisters if she stays on the show. I don't know if she's going to,
yes.
but yeah, like Melania and stuff like that would be so fun. Um, yeah, interesting. Also, just on Gia.
Therese.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
on.
sorry, go ahead. I was just
No,
going to say Teresa and Louis. I just
no,
love seeing them as well at the party. Yeah.
yeah, same. No,
Go on. What
same.
were you going to say about Gia?
Gia, I can't even remember exactly what she was saying, but I feel like she started to get really sassy towards the end, and it was the first time that I've seen her just be a little bit sort of not as like sort of sweet as I've initially sort of portrayed her, and she's kind of got that real housewives pushback.
She is like so. I feel like she's so past her years. It's weird. Like just how I get it. She's really fiery and she's got a bit of growing up still to do. But there's just some way like I was listening to her on Nick Vile. She's
Oh yeah.
on their latest one and I was listening to that.
Okay, I need to watch.
Which was her talking about NYC and how that for the next season, because this is a while back now, but she was just saying like it gets much better. So from her perspective, she's like, oh, it gets much better because not all of us knew each other. She was just sort of explaining that her and Ariana knew each other. She knew Brooks and Ariana. Um,
Yeah.
yes, it's interesting that Brooks is this central figure as well. Like, how did that happen? I think that's so cool, which again, I think has got to do with Seth and Meredith being so like out at each parties and just, they'll talk to anybody. There's something about that family that's super cool that, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm starting to think because Brooks being so reserved, so conflict adverse, how is he friends with all these kids? How is he the central glue? It's really interesting. He's not a top god, like top dog kind of guy, so
Right. But he is, I think he's had a lot of following over the years because he's just so cool. He's
yeah.
very unique. In like he's just really funny. You know when you people that just don't try to be funny but they're funny because he's so natural.
Yeah.
He's one of,
Yeah.
and I think also because he is friendly with everyone and doesn't like conflict, he ends up being one of those central people that you really love.
The
Like it's
linchpin.
yeah,
Yeah. But
like
like
I
that, they knew him before the show. I found that quite interesting because I think like Gia
yeah
and Brooks aren't that alike. That's what I mean.
yeah.
Ariana and him aren't that alike, but he's somebody that manages his friendships, even though there's quite differences.
Mm.
I thought that was interesting.
He's
Yeah.
really cute. I don't know. I love
I
Brooke.
really like Brooks. Yeah, I really do. Like I say, I like most of these kids. Amira, again, just such a super cool woman. Just, I really dig her. And because of her background, even though she's in that cool New York scene, she is not going to be a snob about it at all. Um,
She's very real. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of her actually. I thought she'd
mm.
be a little bit more in like we haven't seen much of a storyline at the beginning a little bit, but not since then.
Well, so like listening, it wasn't like there was any gossip as much because she was just talking in generally what it was like when her song went viral and things like that. This is for Gia, but
Yeah,
she was saying who she was closest with, and she said she was closest with Amira,
yeah,
Brooks, and Ariana,
yeah.
which is kind of cool. But that the next season, she said, look, not all of us knew each other well for this season. And so then you find the drama really gets more intensive. And I'm like, I kind of like how it is. It's nice, light and fun. And, I don't want to get it to the mean scenes. I hope it stays like this really innocent and
Yeah,
yeah,
like a little bit of drama and conflict makes it interesting, but not. Yeah, you don't want it to get too messy and too big.
toxic. I just don't want it to get toxic.
Well, I'm so keen. I haven't looked into it any further, but this remember I was saying that whole rumor of Jay getting fired. Have you heard anything more around that?
Well, I would have thought on the Vile Files, this is why I kind of listened to it. I was like, oh, I kind of want to know if Gia got fired. So I kind of wouldn't have necessarily listened to that because there's other podcasts that I'm really into. So I tell you, at the moment, I'm really into Kate Casey. She's done this podcast on the archetypes of housewives. So it's going into this like deep kind of academic look at the archetypes of women. So Mean Girls, that show was based off that. And so now there's all these talks going on at the moment with like Juicy Scoop, Kate Casey, like, talking about the um, archetypes of housewives and how to spot these different archetypes. And I'm just fascinated with that because it's about a collective and it's about group dynamics as opposed to individuals. And it's stuff that's been spoken on at universities and stuff, which I think is hilarious. But so anyway, so normally like that's kind of I'm kind of going, oh, I want to know more about these archetypes and to understand how to spot those particular behaviors, right? Because they're consistent. It doesn't matter. Each group, where you've got this kind of competitive edge, it's quite likely these archetypes are going to come out. So I kind of want to understand those behaviors so I can spot them easier and then kind of predict the next, like what's like the next likely kind of thing they're going to do
That
and where
is
the conflicts are going to be. Yeah. It
That's
makes
so
it fun, right? It's like gamifying a whole.
I need to listen. I need to listen. Who is it? Kate Casey.
Yeah, Kate Casey is like a couple of episodes ago. She did the archetype with like another guy that they talked through it, and then Heather McDonald sort of spoke about it as well, and it's just getting some traction out there. But yeah, the fact that it's actually they developed Mean Girls, like the person who wrote that developed it off this particular work on these type of archetypes in female groups. So for me, who's also considering maybe writing or whatever, I want to really do a deep dive now. It's
Wow,
so cool.
that's really cool. I'm so keen to have a listen to it.
Yeah, check it out. I'll send you the links. Anyway, so this is what I know about the G, the concept of that. Oh, okay, who was closer and what's happening next season.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
So if she's talking about next season, she can't be fired then. If she was
no,
mentioning,
that's what I mean. Like that's the only reason why I clicked on. I was like, is she fired? Like I wanted the goss.
I hope she's not, because that
I
would be
really hope none of them are. I really think they've got the perfect dynamic.
they've
Like
got
all of them are like a perfect. They really are. It's like a really amazing cast. Like it's kudos to them because I haven't been this engaged with the season like from the kickoff for a long time. Like Vanderpump Rules, yes. Summer House, yes. This is like the next one where I'm just like straight in.
even with Summer House, I wasn't a day one like watch. I didn't watch it from the season one. I kind of picked it up a couple of seasons in and then rewatched the initial ones. Like I feel like they've just got it right from the very beginning with this next gen. They've been talking, it's been in the works for a while. They've been talking about this for years. So they really took their time to perfect it. And kudos to them because, like, if you look at the new, what is it? Housewives of New York City that now has been stopped, that did not work out, like, at all. Multiple reasons, obviously. It's different. This is a fresh, brand new show. But like
Yeah.
it's easy. My point is it's not easy to cast a whole new group.
It's really is not easy to set off a franchise, right? And the Real Housewives, quite often there's been times that it would take me a while to get into it, but then I can rewatch it from the beginning and be completely into it, right? Because I like know the characters by then or the cast members.
Yeah.
So, but this I did not need that from this one, like instantly. And I think it's their vulnerability, their youth, their sweetness. Like it just like they just seem to be quite open hearted, and it's not that difficult to read what's motivating them. Whereas I think, cagey women in their 40s or 50s with, a few life lessons under their belts might be a bit more strategic and manipulative. And it just takes a while to unravel like what's really driving their behavior. But I love these kids. It really is like, yeah, it's the best. So I know, we've just recorded this, but we have another episode to watch.
I know it's just come out, so we'll get on it for
Mm,
that one. But yeah, you know what? You're right. Because they're so young, I feel like they're so much more authentic as well.
yeah.
Relatable, just fun. I'm loving it. Next Gen NYC, episode 5, I think it was, we're up to now. Wow.
Yeah,
Loving
I
it.
know. Happened quick.
Happened quick. I mean, is there anything else, or do we wrap up
I
there?
think that's a wrap. No, I'm really excited. Anything we've missed, we can just add it into next episode because we'll be like, we'll be tuning into that. I think for us, I'm excited about our watch party. And talking. Did you know that Nick Vile is who's host? I had no idea. So I found that listening to the G. I think that Nick Vile has just talking about what it was like to host the what do you call it again?
Reunion. I
The
mean, big
reunion.
to feel. I know I'm excited to watch it. One of my cousins watched it already, and she wasn't a fan. And I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, we'll watch it Friday and record this weekend. TT's in a pod just did an episode on it, so yeah, it's
Yeah.
all everyone's reviewing it now, so it's going to be interesting to see. I just don't understand one thing on that. I don't understand why the reunion was so delayed, like from the actual season. It was a bit annoying, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think because it wasn't kind of thought of in that way because it's not a Bravo series, right? So they just sort of did something. It's outside of that umbrella. So it's not like Andy Cohen's going to go and be the guy. So then it's kind of like an afterthought. And from what I
Yeah,
can gather, just because like Nick Vile Files has interviewed all those girls and been quite kind or whatever, and they all seem to have gelled with him.
Oh,
Like he's
that's
just
really
been the
good.
natural, which made me think. While I was listening to that, I was like, he would be a great next Andy Cohen, because what are they going to do when they lose Andy Cohen's? Like, it's
Andy,
such a like. It would be, it's a cultural shift. That next person that takes on that position, yeah.
I mean, will it flop after that? Because Andy brings it together. Anytime I see anyone else do a reunion, it just doesn't hit the same.
This is what was talked about, was that, and I can't, yeah, just that any other reunion, it's very uncomfortable because it doesn't matter if it's Sydney Housewives, like
Yeah,
all the other franchise. I mean, there was the, Ladies of London, and different franchises that haven't had Andrew Cohen, and it just, yeah, they don't have the same. Yeah, I think it's just very difficult to follow up on, but I think Nick could do it because he's kind of well known enough in the Bravo world. So
yeah, interesting.
there you go.
Well,
Hey,
let's wait and see. I'm excited.
mm. All right, let's wrap it up this year.
All right, chat soon.
Good stuff.